trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Protect.
Yo, peace.
Protect your energy.
I'm like, sir, I don't expect the bone to be broken, but I'm positive I either tore my ACL, my MCL, something in my knee is torn and I cannot walk. So he asked me if I could put pressure on it. I could put like a little bit of pressure, but not, I can't stand on it. I can't walk. So then he tries to like hold it up and all this other shit that makes me hurt a lot. And he
Yeah,
was like,
he's
all
telling
right.
her like, look, just try and put your weight on. Like, you don't do that. Don't you do that. Don't do that.
So he ends up saying like, all right, well, I can't tell if you tore this tendon, but it looks like you did, but we got to do an ultrasound. You got to wait. And so I knew when he said that, I was going to wait till the morning. I already knew. So I was like, P, I think I'm going to be cool. I'm going to have to wait for a while. They ended up giving me some pain meds. I was trying to figure out what I was taking, like what they was giving me. And the nurse was getting mad because I didn't understand what she was saying. So she was like screaming at me a little bit, like saying the words over and over, but screaming them. And I'm like, all right, don't worry about it. Like, just drug me. Fuck it.
You should have
Uh,
wrote it down on your phone and like Google Translate. But
yeah, she was already like hurrying and upset because they sit you in a room with a bunch of other sick people, like a bunch of everybody that's like been admitted and is waiting. I'm in this room with these people, so it's like a lady next to me throwing up. It's disgusting. It was horrible. I was like, this is not a good way to do this. If somebody got like something contagious, you just all in here with them. So anyway, P ends up leaving. I tell him to go. They set me in this wheelchair in this spot pretty much all night. So I just kind of like dozed off there around 8:30 in the morning. Somebody comes gets me, wheels me to the ultrasound. I had a really good experience with the nurse in there and the doctor in there. The nurse, like, I had like peed all night, so she helped me get to the bathroom. And then the doctor that did the ultrasound was really nice. He like slowly bent my knee to try to see like if she whatever she could see. She was very patient, very gentle, so that was good. They ended up finding out that they were like, yeah, you tore your tendon. You're gonna have to have surgery. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, hey, can you get my friend in here? He's here. He's waiting on me. It was probably what 9:30 in the morning at that point, maybe
yeah, something
10.
like that. Nah.
So P comes in here and I'm like, all right, this is what they saying, P. And so we kind of deliberate on whether I would want to have surgery in Portugal.
Yeah, so the doctor is in there with her, like literally laying on the bed. He literally just told her, like, you need surgery to get this fixed. And he's saying, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, do we get it? Like, how long do we got to like decide? He's like, well, I need to know now, really. I'm like, okay, well, let us talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we talking, and as we're talking about it, and weighing out kind of pros and cons and stuff, the doctor shows her X-ray, whatever, or yeah, the X-ray. And he was like, "You've had something wrong with your knee before, huh?" And she was like, "No." And I was sitting there waiting and thinking, like, yes, you did. Like a year ago, you literally couldn't bend your you couldn't move your knee for like a month. Like you
It
couldn't.
was not a
It
month.
was a month.
It was not a month.
How long was it?
It was probably 2 weeks. It was probably 2 weeks.
It was like a month, Lindsay, where you couldn't even
Yeah.
run. You couldn't run.
I couldn't run. For sure, I couldn't run.
First, you barely could walk and put pressure on it for
Mhm.
2 weeks. Then you could walk after 2 weeks, but you could not run for a month.
Yeah. So I had like, I think it was a softball
It
injury.
was
I
a
had like,
softball injury. I remember
I
you
went up
talking
to
about it.
bat and I twisted my knee and I fell and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I
Because I
hurt
remember when
so.
I would go visit her at her apartment, I would literally have to help her stand up sometimes just because, like, and again, I thought she was exaggerating a little bit, but I'm like, hey, if your knee hurt that bad, you need to go to the doctor. Go see what's wrong with your shit. No, I'm good. I'm going to just give it a week, give it a week or two, see what's going on. Never went to the
Yeah,
doctor for that. Just,
couple weeks I was fine.
he
I could,
wasn't fine. He was not fine.
I mean, I got back running. Like I was back fine
Yes,
eventually.
eventually your body heals itself. Yes,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what I'm saying.
correct. So on the x-ray, she has literally like a sharp point on her knee and stuff. And they like, yeah, that's not normal. That's not supposed to look like that. All that's supposed to be smooth. So she has like literally like these rigged edges on her knee. So at that point, when they add that to it, I'm like, nah, dog, you probably should go back to America and get your shit really evaluated because if they see that, I mean, I would be cool if they was just doing one type of surgery for one whatever patella tear. But if they seeing something extra wrong with your knee, we probably should do like a full evaluation type thing. So it was like cool. So they were saying what they can do then, because if she's gonna have to fly back, they was like they're gonna have to put a cast on it, and she's gonna need some medications, she's gonna need some crutches and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, so
we
they gave
ready.
me prescriptions for the medicine. They put a cast on, like a splint, technically, like a cast on the back, and then soft wrapped it all the way around from like my toes all the way up my thigh.
Yep.
So it was definitely difficult to like sit because if I sit down, I have to keep my legs straight. So I was really kind of interested to see how I was gonna fly. But we figured it out. Like, got back to the hostel. Well, of course, they discharged me. P went and got crutches from the pharmacy. He went and got
Yeah,
my
I
medicine
had
later.
ran to the pharmacy, got her medicine, crutches. Only crutches they had available was these little like hand crutches. She looked like that little boy off of what's that shit during Christmas time or Christmas story or whatever. Please, sir, can I have some more? Like with these little hand crutches.
Yeah, they go around your arm and then you put your hands on them. Anyway, so I got those
She got
crutches.
discharged. How much was the bill?
190
This
maybe.
nigga got X-rays, MRI, ambulance ride, casted, pain meds, all this shit. €190.
$190. Yeah, it
Whew, I
was
was like,
crazy.
woo. So that's the only thing that really made us consider, like, we might need to get this surgery here. Like, go ahead, let them do whatever they gonna do. Shit.
Yeah,
But we went back to the hostel. We got a Uber. She sat in the back seat and kept her legs straight. I sat in the front. Got her out. Of course, she's taking a
hop
while, moving,
crutching.
drilling, hopping, catching. Get
Yeah,
her to the bed. I go to the grocery store, get her something to eat, some
he
sandwiches
got
and
me
stuff.
moved to the lower bunk because
Yeah,
I
got her
can't
moved
climb
to the
from the
lower
top bunk.
bunk, all of that stuff. I did that the night before, so bed was ready for her when she came back. Um, Again, it ain't much she can do. So she's sitting, she's in pain. We're trying to get her to move a little bit every now and then, but then you started having like pain through the night, and he was like, "We need to go back to the
Yeah, so
hospital."
I started having a lot of pain in my heel. My heel was hurting just as bad as my knee at some point, and I couldn't like get any relief. So I was getting up in the middle of the night and like walk into the lobby, and I would sit in the lobby for like an hour, and I would come back to the bed. So it was tough. But anyway, went back to the doctor the next day. I was like, y'all need to recast this. Something, y'all to cast this right. My heel is hurting, and the pain meds you giving me are not helping my knee. They basically just prescribed me Tylenol. So they recasted me, gave me something like ibuprofen basically, and told me to alternate, which was cool. I knew I had like a couple more days, and then I was gonna be out. So I found a flight, get me home in a couple days. Of course, I wanted to find something with like minimum amount of stops and all that kind of stuff. So I finally got a flight. That was a grip, if you can imagine.
Yeah,
Um,
last minute flight was a group. Also, uh, the night we got back, and this is just random. Uh, I guess two of the people in our room, we got new people in the room, and they were having sex that night in the morning. I didn't hear it the first night, but I heard it the second night, and Lindsay was like, "You didn't smell that? The room smelling like what?"
bologna. It was smelling like bologna in there.
I guess
I
it
was
was a
like,
little
we need to
closer to
open a
you.
window. It was
But yeah,
open.
so like for them next 2 days, or whatever, until we about to leave, or she about to leave and get on the flight. Just had to help her out or whatever. But like she said, she got a last minute flight. Again, we was worried about just there's a lot of stuff up in there, and we just had to take one
Yeah,
thing at a time, because it's like, all right, when she's on the plane, how is her leg gonna fit?
yeah.
Is the medication gonna work? They also gave her these little shots that she had to take for blood
It was like
thinner
a
to make
blood
sure she
thinner, so
don't
you
get
don't
no
get a
blood clots while she's
yeah.
flying and stuff, and she has to take them at certain times. And so it's just, again, still a lot of stuff. And this flight is going to be like a long time, no matter what, whether it was a direct flight or stops. It's going to be some hours. So we got to the airport first of all, and then as soon as she get in there, we got to find a wheelchair. So I'm going around looking for a wheelchair. That took a while. Find a wheelchair, then we got to get her checked in and stuff. You had to pay for your bag because of that, so that was more money. They
I
set
paid
her
for an
in.
exit row seat, but they told me I wasn't capable. Like
Did you file a claim for that?
they said they would refund it. I gotta wait, but yeah, you don't have to file a claim. They said they should automatically do it.
Okay, I would stay on top of that.
Yeah,
So We get a wheelchair and pretty much like the assistance people that comes with it or whatever. They set us in this area to wait. First, the dude was like, "Oh, it's gonna be quick." So like, you might he almost telling like, "Yeah, you might want to go ahead and say whatever you're gonna say to her because it's gonna be like 5 minutes." So it's like, "All right, cool." So we just sitting there talking. End up waiting for a whole hour, waiting for like literally it's like 10 minutes before boarding.
Yeah.
So we just chilling, waiting, talking or whatever.
Get to the gate. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Got my girl in handicap way. Um, they wheel her off, and then you know the rest of your story from there. Salutations. Safe flight, man.
Thanks, dog. Appreciate it.
All right. Gonna go that way. Oh, okay. Okay.
All
I ain't
right,
see you no
so
more.
in Portugal, the wheelchair was pretty cool. Like it had a little flap where I could keep my leg elevated, so it was perfect. Ride through there, you get priority access everywhere through customs. It was just smooth. Literally, I got to my gate. By the time we left that area, to my gate was maybe 10 minutes. It was just straight through. So that was really convenient. Got on the plane. They ended up sitting me in a bulkhead. So of course during takeoff and stuff, I have to put my luggage above my head, but during the flight, I can bring it down. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna use my book bag. And they gave me this little, at the hospital, they gave me this little straight, I don't know what you would call it,
Arts and crafts, looking bored, wrapped with
like a
tape around
board.
it.
Yeah, a board wrapped with tape to help me keep my leg straight, to kind of put up under my leg. So I was like, I'm gonna use that and my book bag, and I had a blanket with me. I'm gonna just set my foot up on that the whole flight. So I was able to do that. I stood up on the flight a couple times to get my blood circulating and stuff, just to make sure I was okay. And there was a girl next to me that was really nice. She helped me out a couple times, just because like just sitting down and putting my leg up was kind of difficult. Yeah, got to now. I will tell you when I got to the states, it was so different. The wheelchairs was basic. They was like, no, we don't have no wheelchair, no flap. So I had to like hold my leg up with my crutches, which was like very difficult because we're moving. My crutches are literally up under my leg as a lever. Hold my leg up. You don't get no priority access. You got to go through regular TSA. The wheelchair dude was very absent-minded, so he was like not even really paying attention. I get back in the wheelchair. I'm like, where my stuff? He like, oh, my bad. Like, so it was just real interesting. I got to the gate for my next flight, and they basically like, you got to sit down, and somebody else can come and wheel you to the plane. So I got on the plane, got everything set up. I was able to do that little makeshift thing. Again, matter of fact, when I got to DC and I got on that plane, I was able to sit in the seat by myself. So the lady had arranged it where it was a small plane, so it was only like two seats on each side. She was able to give me a seat by myself, so I was able to just put my leg out, sit in the window seat, put my leg out the whole flight. So that was super clutch. That flight
Clutch.
was about 3 hours, so that wasn't so bad. Got home, and yeah, the rest is history. Like, I got to ride in the back seat. I go to the emergency room immediately. They do X-rays again. They're like, "Yep, your patella's torn. Here's referrals." So I call referrals the next day. Find a surgeon or a doctor, I guess, a bone joint doctor. I go to him the next day. He's basically like, "I need an MRI. I need to see more. I need to see how bad it's torn." So I get an MRI on Friday. That was a Monday. On Friday, I get an MRI. Results come back the next Monday. I talk to him because I'm like, hey, I'm ready to have surgery. If we need to get surgery, let's get started. I'm ready to heal. And he looks at it. He's like, not only did you tear your patella tendon partially, but you tore your ACL, your meniscus, and you have a fracture. So basically, the bone to bone contact caused the fracture. So part of your knee chipped off. And then your meniscus is torn. Your ACL is completely torn, and your patella tendon has some fibers there. Just based off the complexity of this, we're not going to do surgery. I think you should let your patella tendon heal a little bit, because if I do surgery on one or the other, it's going to prevent the other one from healing and all this other stuff. So we went with the non-surgery route, and he gave me an immobilizer brace, and I got to be in that for like another week and a half. And then I started physical therapy, and hopefully I'll be back within about 3 months. Is what he told me. 3 months I should be walking normally, and 6 months to be 6 months to a year to be fully recovered.
Shit.
Yeah,
Shit. So that is the story of why Yogi LG is not here.
yeah,
But man, I guess just to catch up. So she left. That was on like a Saturday. We was already planning to leave the next day on Sunday
yeah,
anyway. So before she was leaving anyway, we had to re-establish bags and stuff because of course we packed so that we were like joint. So I
yeah.
gave her the big suitcase and then I kept the two uh
Small suitcases.
smaller suitcases that are almost like check bags. Well, they're the smallest check bags, like you can do carry on or a check bag. But again, it was hard to like downsize on the equipment and stuff and all of that and figure out and make decisions. Um, Leaving out like I think what like 2 days or something after you or a day after you or
A
something to go
day.
to
Yeah.
Barcelona or whatever. And I don't know, of course it's just different. So then like we talked to some of our close friends, of course, everybody asking the same question. Oh my god, how do you feel? How do you feel? How's it feel? It's so sad and
Yeah.
stuff. So I guess like that was pretty much the entirety of our like Portugal trip. Because I mean after that I ain't really doing much either. Like I'm just kind of chilling
Yeah.
and stuff. We had planned to go to like Porto the next day after that and do some other stuff, of
And
course.
go to Centra.
None of
Yeah.
that was gonna happen and stuff. So I guess now that we are here, how'd you feel in the moment? How you feeling now?
Yeah, I knew like immediately like it was bad and it was gonna damper the trip in some way. I just didn't quite know how much. But I feel
I
now I
think
feel
even
like
during the moment, we both were like, as
fuck.
if she's any kind of good, we don't care. We're gonna keep going because
Yeah.
like
If
if
I was
she's
any kind of good,
any kind of good, and by any kind of good, if they could do surgery and we could keep going, or if they said like, hey, it's fractured, it's just real bad like sprain or
yeah,
something. I
just
know it
take it
hurts real bad.
easy for a
Take it
couple
easy.
weeks.
Cool, we good. We can,
Yeah,
yeah, we can make this shit work. But once they said
yeah,
all this other stuff and she had to go back, it's kind of for certain and stuff.
yeah. So I think ultimately I feel like I, I, of course, in the moment, I felt like I let myself down. I let you down. It was just kind of like not let you down, but more so like a damn, I fucked up this big plan that we had. But it showed me obviously plans are just that. It's just kind of what you think is going to happen, and it's not always what God has planned. So I knew there was something I need to learn, something I need to get from being back in the States. One of my first calls was to my brother, just because I knew he would give me some logical feedback, and he would be big brotherish. So called my brother. Definitely had an emotional moment talking on the phone to him. But I felt in that moment, I felt like a lot of different emotions. Now I feel a lot better about it. Like I think there's something for me to learn from this. I'm super excited about starting the road to recovery. I want my knee to be just as good or even better than before. So definitely like doing a little. There's not really much I could do right now. Doctor was like, don't do a whole bunch of exercises. Just chill, but you can like flex your foot and stuff. Just keep your mobility in your other portions of your leg if you can. So I just been doing stuff like that and ready to heal up and hopefully catch back up with P.
Yeah,
How you
yeah, for
feel,
sure.
man? How's it been without me?
Um, so it's been like a week or two, and I think the first couple of days it's just like you traveling. So again, it's that same old where you're still kind of tired from traveling and stuff, having to pack the bags, move the stuff around. Um, the being without you part, it's just a completely different trip. Like it's night and day difference. I don't know too much about like the feelings per se, because like again, close friends and people asking like, okay, so like, what's this mean for your trip? With all this, just like, I mean, I'm gonna try and do what I can, especially for the stuff we got booked. I'm definitely gonna at least finish all of that stuff out. But we also have friends coming to visit us on the Greece part of the trip and stuff too. So I wasn't too worried about that part. I wasn't concerned more so about me. I think I was just continuously thinking about like how you felt and stuff like that. So like I've traveled by myself before when I lived in the UK, so I have a
Mhm.
little bit of experience with doing a trip, and I think back that like that living in 2015 by myself kind of really helps me to be in this type of moment by myself. So I'm not like worried per se. It's just really missing the camaraderie type stuff and like splitting of stuff and doing stuff. Because again, like when you're traveling by yourself, is of course it feels a little bit more unsafe. Like of course, if you feel like you're going out or something, then you're not gonna go as crazy or do as much as you would because you don't feel like you don't have somebody who trusts with you and stuff. But I think that's normal. So I think a lot of the feelings are just like normal stuff, and I just been doing it like I've been doing everything else, taking it one day at a time, focusing on whatever I can do in that one day at a time. Uh, because I think it's weird. I think it's the same type of feelings we felt when we would get to like some hostels that weren't good and stuff, and we like listening to like Beyonce, "You won't break my soul, you won't break my soul." Like this is only temporary. So I don't know. I think I'm okay. I base a lot of my stuff around like not around how you're feeling, but just again focusing on like making sure you were good the whole time. Because again, ain't necessarily nothing like wrong with me. I was glad that you uh I don't know that everything kind of still lined up the way it did because it could have been way worse. So
Exactly. Yeah.
just definitely grateful for that, I guess.
Yeah. I definitely something that I realized a big thing was like my tribe was just loving on me. I felt like I called everybody, let my main friends know, my family know, and so I just felt like I got a lot of support, a lot of encouragement from the people around me. P was, of course, I don't know what if I would have done if he wasn't there. So it was just super good to have that somebody there to help you out, get food or help you up or whatever. It was definitely an adjustment. Not using. I literally couldn't use my whole leg, so but yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason. My spirits are high. I'm still excited about P's travel. I'm still watching. Sometimes I get jealous and I have to like wait till I can watch his story and stuff. But eventually I'll be like, all right, let me see what he's doing, what he into. So still excited that you get to continue the journey, and still hoping I can catch back up with you at some point.
Yeah, same. I mean, that's what I'm expecting too. Hoping for speedy recovery. We're gonna keep this Zen Trap Travels torch going.
Come on, man.
Um, yeah, I guess anything else for review of how?
No, I mean Portugal was great. It was good while we were there. It was great. I still got to cook in that country, so that was great. And just I don't, can't wait to hit the cities that I'm missing. But I'll do that at another time. But Portugal was definitely good to me. You got anything else?
Um, no, not really. I just again, I hope this doesn't deter anybody else from like traveling and stuff.
For sure.
Shit like this happens, could
This could have
happen
happened in the
anywhere.
states. Yeah,
It
for
happen
sure.
at your house, can happen wherever. So I just want to make sure like stuff like this don't deter people from doing whatever they want to do. And I think you had a really good perspective and reflection on it that like you just going to use this as a learning opportunity and try to come out better from it. So I just
Absolutely.
think people should try and do the same thing. Like control what you can control.
Yeah. Hey, another disclaimer: beware the scooters. Every doctor that we saw
Fuck
was
them
like,
scooters.
damn scooters. Like apparently they have a lot of scooter accidents. So if you get on them, just be careful, be aware. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Make sure you're in safe conditions.
Yeah,
I don't
them
want nobody
them
to get
hoes
hurt.
go fast, man.
Yeah,
They are so fast.
and they are
The
not. They're too
exhales
fast for
quick.
you to just hop off, for sure. Because
Well,
I just
any falling in general, because I've
yeah,
learned this from whatever snowboard and all this other stuff. When they tell you how to fall, you're not supposed to try and catch yourself with nothing. Don't
yeah,
try and catch yourself with your leg or your arm, especially with your arm and stuff. You'll break your wrist, you'll tear your knee up, break your leg or something. If you feel like you're falling, the best thing to do is to just fall. I know that's hard to say and it's something you really got to practice, but you learn that from like basketball and other stuff too. If you're going up for like a layup and stuff, don't I know the immediate reaction is to try and like catch yourself and put something, but if all your weight and pressure comes down on your arm or your leg or something, it's the quickest way you're gonna tear something up. You really want to try and fall on like your side, your hip or something, because it's just
yeah.
gonna be a lesser energy. Wherever you got the more meat part at, but hey man, living you learn.
So All right, well, this has been another ZTT Zen Trap Travel. We covered Lisbon, Portugal. Remember, protect your peace.
Check your energy.
It's the Zen Trap.
Zen Trap, we out.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Protect.
Your peace.
Protect your energy.
Take the time.
To free your mind.
Sit back and unwind. Stay on your mental grind. It's the vibe cultivators, the mood regulators, the negative thought slayers, the Zen Trap creators.
The manifesting duo, where the fuck else would you go?
Dropping gems daily, they dirty like Patrick Swayze.
Stay on the move, looking for some food.
The girl in my inbox, she found me on TikTok.
Spirit solid as a rock, my aura feel like some Crocs.
Nike, Gucci, Prada, Drake's me, but that shit don't validate.
Peace motivator, energy respirator, vibe authenticator, international players.
Zen trappers, not rappers. Negative thought clappers. Zen trappers, not rappers. Negative thought clappers. Protect your peace, protect your energy. Protect your peace, protect your energy. Protect your peace, protect your energy. Baby girl, back up off of me until you cleanse your energy. Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Potential is not all about the grind, but more about you making up your mind. How much effort you willing to put on the line? How much work to really make your life shine? It's not about the diamonds and hoes, but working really hard for your goals. You might have to climb that pole or get a side job at Kohl's, but never lose sight of your dreams. Your passion will produce the means. I'm affirming who I wanna be until I'm the best version of me. I'm potentially the smoothest cat you ever seen. I'm potentially the brightest star you seen beam. I'm potentially the hottest thing on the scene. I'm potentially the one that makes your girl scream.
Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Like a girl who missed a period, you've been waiting on my flow. My potential undefined. How would I even know? Who's the master? Call me Bruce Leroy, cause I got the glow. When it's God's plan, he E40, tell me when to go. The wind doesn't blow, it just is what it is. Cause if it ain't blowing, can you even call it wind? I never define myself by the losses or the wins, only by my effort and how I'm feeling when it ends. Did I fold or did I bend? Did I quit or did I sin? Did I lend a helping hand to my family and my friends? Put the team up on my back, strategize then I attack. Right now I'm gathering all the knowledge so I can bring it right back. Our journey is unknown and believe me that's a fact. The rest is still unwritten. Hey Natasha, that whole slap. Destination unknown, you can't find it on a map. Can't Google your life purpose, you gotta seek it, ain't no cap. Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is.
Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Your potential is a grind. It is what you give. Potential's undefined. It is what it is. Zen Trap got potential on lock.
Zen Trap coming beating down your blog.
We stay spread love and peace.
If you don't see our potential, let's agree to disagree.